Hi Virgo, this is your reading for the week of March 16th, or when you hear it and it resonates. And of course, it will not be for every Virgo. Virgo, as I started working with your energy, it was really interesting. I all of a sudden just felt, I was just holding the cards to my chest and I just felt like I just wanted to rock. And I wanted to rock. And as I'm doing that, I'm feeling this sadness coming up, but it's with a certain quality of peace. And what I'm seeing all around you, literally, is a half circle of angelic spirits who are coming in with a really just spectacular fuchsia violet quality of energy around you. And to me, that is a loving energy. It's a very divine energy, and it's a very healing energy. It's particularly good for healing states of mind and psychological distress, as it is suggested in energy medicine. Now, here we go. The feeling that I was getting with this rocking quality. Now, for me, rocking, I associate this back with osteopathic exercises. And to me, the rocking thing is just one of those beautiful, simple exercises that can help the movement of the cerebral spinal fluid move up and down the system. And of course, as it does that, it's moving the all of the nutrients and all of the chemicals that bathe your nervous system, but ultimately it's water, or it's water element. And now as I'm doing this, the other thing that I'm seeing as you're being held by this beautiful, beautiful band of angelic presence, and this energy is surrounding you, it's as though you are being protected and contained. Thank you. You have the presence now that you did not have early in your life. You did not have somebody to help you hold the pain of whatever you went through in your childhood. You didn't have anybody to help you with the emotions that you were going through. It doesn't have to be big trauma. It doesn't have to be horrific. Sometimes it is just simply feeling isolated and alone because things that are going on in your family are taking your parents' attention away from perhaps what your needs might have been in that moment. But more than that, what I'm getting with this movement is that you're being given the opportunity now to lean into angelic support so that you can finally be free. And what I'm getting as you're shaking, as you're moving, rocking back and forth, I kept hearing the phrase, "Thank you for setting me free. Thank you for setting me free. Thank you for setting me free." Those are the words that I kept hearing. That might be your mantra. See how it feels. But what I'm getting is that for many of you, there were situations in your childhood that were not ideal for you, that left you perhaps confused. I'm saying that because I'm being reminded of a story that a friend told me years ago, in which they had a very, very devoted mother who totally and absolutely doted on them and was viciously cruel to their stepsister. And this person was having such a difficult time juxtaposing the kindness and the love of this mother with the absolute and very obvious meanness and abusive nature. And they also grew up feeling as though they should have done something to stop it. This little tiny 6-year-old, how can they do something to protect a 10-year-old stepsister? How can they? Against this mother whose love they are leaning on and relying on for their survival. It can create such a sense of guilt and shame around that, and confusion around love, and confusion around responsibility and self-worth. And what I'm feeling here, you're getting the quantum leap of faith card, and you're getting the intuition card. And then you're also getting the ideal childhood card, which I had not pulled when I was dealing with the emotions and the feelings in the angelic presence. So when I look at this, the first card is intuition. It's talking about that intuition is the means through which you stay in contact with the universe. And of course, why is that relevant? That's relevant because when we are in contact with the universe, when we're able to be in the experience of dialoguing with the universe and understanding in that at a deeper level that there is divine presence around us, there is angelic presence, there are other dimensions that are here to assist and to help heal, and that we can ask for that. And it's telling you, yeah, you've got that. It's everybody's right to do that. And it keeps you linked to your place in the universe. And listen, Virgo, your place in the universe is way beyond whatever your childhood taught you to think it was. The thing is also, Virgo, what I'm seeing is that for you, I'm literally seeing it's like, okay, you'll pour yourself into this and you'll do that. And maybe it'll work, but maybe it won't. So then you'll pour yourself into that and then into that. And that comes along with that lack of confidence in yourself, is that you either land into, okay, now I'm being told about my dad. Okay, so my dad said to me once when I was asking him about his advice on a decision I was trying to make about in regards to business. And I said, how did you make your choices? And he said, honey, I only ever made a choice when my back was up against a wall and I had to move in order to feed the family. And I feel like that's kind of what you have done, is that sometimes you jumped from the frying pan into the fire, or you jumped from a frying pan into another frying pan without really taking the time to maybe you didn't have the time. Maybe it was a similar situation where, you had to provide. And so stopgap, this is what I will do, even though it's not ideal. But what I'm feeling here is, Virgo, that for some of you, that has been a pattern, whether or not it was financial obligation or whether or not it was just you needing having a sense of not knowing where to go. And so you'll jump at something. What I'm feeling now is that this moment that I'm seeing is actually, there's a quality of sadness to it. There's a quality of grieving to it. So I like when I started to say sadness, but then it went immediately to grieving. And for me, grieving is a very healthy emotion. For me, being able to really grieve, it means you get to grieve whatever went on, that mother, that situation that you had no control over. And that quality that sometimes has caused you to jump, what I'm getting is that, the thing is, in childhood, it doesn't have to be a really traumatic or violent environment in order for a child to be really attuned to underlying stressors in a family situation, right? And so when a child knows or feels, whether it's actually heard, cognitively identified, or whether or not it's a vibration below the surface, if it's kind of going like this and the child is looking for security, what happens is they can become hyper aware of that, because there's that quality of, I might need to do something to make it okay, to make it safe. And in that way, what happens is you're constantly checking and scanning from the exterior point of view to dictate what your next move is going to be. Virgo, this is you really being able to get to a much deeper place of you understanding peacefully, calmly, having released what you needed to release from the past, letting yourself genuinely grieve what you needed to grieve, so that you can get to a place where you understand that any illusion you had about you being responsible, you being wrong, you should have having done more, this is where you get to let that go. This is the clearing of the waters. And as I say that, it's not just the cerebral spinal fluid up and down your spine as you're rocking. What I feel is though it's almost like a pumping mechanism where what you're really, this is so beautiful, you're really pulling the earth, the water energy from the earth, from the elements around you. And literally it's like it's coming up like a spring from the earth through your body, and it's just raising through your chakras, and it's cleaning you out. It's cleaning you out through your tears. So my dear Virgos, if you are finding yourself more sad than usual, please consider that this might be the opportunity for you to really release that deep, deep sadness, that grief, and identify it in a way that really opens you and really sets you free, because that's what I feel. I feel many of you have already done this or are in the process of doing this. And I believe this is the time coming up in which you really do get to link with that unspoken sacred in a way that is very healing for you And I think it's wonderful for you, Virgo. I wish you the best. Take care of yourselves.